going to get started here with our hidden marketing asset overview. This is directed primarily at small businesses, particularly to metaphysical businesses, Reiki practitioners, yoga instructors, spa owners, hypnotists, chiropractic offices. I'm going to show you today how you can find marketing opportunities right within your business that you already own. And I'm actually going to show you here in the next little while how you can grow your business without any additional cost in advertising, and it can grow from 25 to 100% in the next 60 to 90 days. And these are all practical, proven, foundational tips that I'm about ready to give you. So if you don't have something to write with and some paper, I suggest that you do that. One thing that I don't suggest, a lot of people now, and I know this kind of goes against the grain, but I would prefer you to handwrite your notes. There's a transference that takes place when you handwrite your notes rather than typing them into a notepad. So if you will handwrite your notes, you will find that they will stay with you longer and will have more impact with you. So with that being said, relax. Hope you got some something to drink, some tea, some coffee, preferably not soda pop, but if you do, that's okay. That's your choice. We can all make our own choices on those. So we're going to get started right now with our hidden marketing asset system. This is an overview, as I said. It's not the complete system. I'm going to give you the steps that you need, though, and a lot of ideas that you can go away from this webinar and teaching and start using actually immediately. So buckle up. We're ready to go. Okay. Here we go. Here's a fact, though, that I want to give to you before we actually get into the system itself. This is from the Small Business Administration, the SBA. And the SBA states that only 30% of new businesses fail during the fail during the first 2 years of being open, 50% during the next 5 years, and 60% during the first 10 years. Now, actually, I see a typo here. It says that it states that only 30%. Those figures are actually all of the businesses. 30% of them fail during the first year, half of them during the first 5 years, 66% during the next 10 years of them being in business. So if you're just starting out, the odds are against you to start with. So I'm going to give you tips here that you can use to work things in your favor. And if you're up to that 2-year mark, you're a little safer. If you're up to the 5-year mark, then you got a 50-50 chance of making it. If you're beyond that, then I don't know. I don't know what happens after 10 years, but businesses tend to fail a lot after 10 years. So this is caused, though, by a lot of different things. And the first one is usually inadequate capital. You go into business, you decide you want to start a business, particularly if you're a small business, and it may just be you. And you go into it, you have a great dream, a great idea, you want to impact people, you want to change lives, but you start out, you don't have enough money. You get the place open, you get your office set up, you put all the money into learning, the educational aspect of it, and you don't leave anything to operate on, and that causes a big problem. So inadequate capitalization is a huge problem, and I would say probably the biggest reason for failure of any business is just not having the capital to operate on. So you need to have that in place before you ever get started. You need to plan ahead, and you need to think Last week's training was on goal setting, and I gave you the system for your business to be a success. So if you haven't seen that, there is a replay, I believe, of it up, at least for now, that you can get a hold of. And if not, it will probably, if this is sometime later and you're watching a recording, if you're here live, that's fine. But if you're watching a recording, it may have been converted into a product, and probably got a little small fee on it for getting the information. But anyway, so moving on to the reasons that businesses fail. And another huge one is lack of effective marketing. And that's what we're talking about here today. We're talking about marketing, we're talking about advertising, and they are two distinct separate things. Marketing is your overall plan of everything that you do as a whole. Advertising is specific to what you're doing to create clients, to create prospects, and to bring people into the door. So there is a huge difference. People confuse that quite often. When they say marketing, they're referring to advertising, when in fact advertising is separate and not the same thing as marketing. This is a huge one. Poor customer service and relations. And you just don't retain your clients, your prospects, and your customers if you have poor customer service. And it seems like in today's world, customer service has just gone completely out the door for most places. And I don't know why that is, because it is vital to any business and to have good customer service. And it goes everywhere from the big box stores down to the little one owner mom and pop place. But customer service is dead in the 21st century. And that needs to be corrected, because people don't go back if they don't have a pleasant experience. You don't go back to a restaurant that just does not have good service. You don't go back to whatever profession you're in, whatever business you're running, if the people don't have a good experience. So customer service is huge, and it's something that is extremely lacking today. So that's a big thing with places going out of business and not surviving, is the fact that they just have bad customer service and they lose what customers that they have. And in order to have effective marketing, you have to have good retention of your customers and your clients. Good news is these can all be fixed, but it's going to take some work. That's what we're going to talk about here today, is exactly how to fix those. Failure to understand the market for business products or services is also a big problem, and that you get an idea, you got a great idea, you've bounced it off your friends and family, they all think it's a great idea, most of them anyway. Talk about that in a little bit. But for some reason, it just doesn't hit the mark. It's not the right product at the right time. One of the biggest problems with small business owners is that they have a great idea about going into business, but they don't have a clue about the amount of work it will take, about their product or the service to their clients, all of these things that we just talked about. So it's very important to have very firm foundations when it comes to your marketing. And this was not from me, this was from Mo Mowry from the SBA administration. So as the owner of a business, you're the one that's responsible. You can't blame it on the employees if the employees don't know. You have to be the one to take charge. It's your business. And you have to know what's going on in your business. You have to know what your employees are doing. You have to know if they're giving good customer service or not. Depending on the type of business that you own, these are ways that you can do it. Go out, get out of your office. If it's a business where you have a counter or a floor type business, get out on the floor and go out and talk to the people and meet the people and find out what they're thinking. Find out what they like about your place, what they maybe don't like, what they like about your competitors, what they maybe don't like about your competitors. If you don't talk to the people and talk to your customers, your prospects, your clients, you're not going to know what's going on in their head. So do your research and find out. Get out. You can't sit in an office all day when you got customers coming in or people calling on the phone. You have to go out and wait on them yourself. You have to take phone calls. Pick up the phone every once in a while. Take a call, just random calls. They don't have to be complaint calls. If someone's calling wanting to know if you provide this type of service. Of course, this is all based on the fact that you have employees. If you don't have employees, then of course you're already doing all of this, but are you getting information from the people that you're talking to? Now, foundations is huge. You have to have a very solid foundation, and you'll not survive the challenges if you're only building on one or two marketing pillars, as I call them. You don't have a solid foundation. You need to have a system. You need to systematize your marketing using multiple marketing pillars. In fact, there's 7 of them, and 7 steps to having a lot more sales in the system that we're talking about here. You need to get maximum return for the least amount of expense. So for every dollar that you spend, you need to get the most back from it. And you need to get it for the longest duration. And this is on everything that you will do, have done in the past, and will do in the future. Now, marketing and innovation make money. Everything else is a cost. This is from Peter Drucker. He's a management consultant, a very well-known management consultant. And it's a very true statement. Marketing and innovation are the only 2 things that make money in a business. Everything else is a cost. You need to keep that in mind. Now, there's a direct marketer by the name of Gary Halbert. And he was very old school. He was one of the first gurus that I learned about. And when he would do a seminar, a workshop, hold a class, he would walk out and he would ask this question of everybody sitting there. The question was this: if you and I both owned a hamburger stand, we were in a contest to see who could sell the most hamburgers, what advantages would you most like to have on your side to help you win the contest? And once again, if we both owned hamburger stands, we were in a contest competing against each other of who could sell the most hamburgers, what advantage would you most like to have on your side to help you win the contest? Think about that for a minute. You might want to write that question down because we're going to come back to it time and time again. Now here, I'm going to give you a little bit of help here because I can tell you're struggling. Would you have with your hamburgers, would you like to have a superior meat, the best meat that there was? How about great hamburger buns? You know, a hamburger tastes a lot better if it's on a real good bun, doesn't it? What about the best equipment? What about if you had the highest technology, techno equipment that there ever was? What about your location? How important is the location of your business? What about the lowest price? What if you ran your business based on the lowest price? What's your answer? Okay, this is what Halbert said. After he had people write this all down and think about it, he said, okay, I'll give you every single advantage that you've asked for. You can have the best meat. You can have the greatest buns. You can have the best, highest tech equipment. You can have the very, very best location. You can have the lowest prices. I'll give you all of that. But I want just one advantage. And if you give me that advantage, I will, when it comes to selling hamburgers now, whip the pants off all of you. There's words from Gary Halbert here. And he did it many, many times with his direct marketing business. Ready for the answer? The advantage you want is a starving crowd. A starving crowd. When it comes to marketing your business, the most profitable foundation you can have is a solid foundation of customers and clients and prospects and alliances who have demonstrated that they are starving or at least hungry for your particular product or service. So your biggest advantage that you want to have is to have something that no one else has. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have a competitor or competitors. Most businesses today have lots of competitors, but you need to position yourself to where your product is unique or different to everybody else's. There's a way to do that. I'm going to show you here in a moment how to do that. But the first thing I want you to do, I want you to write down on your paper here, great big letters like I've got there, stop. Stop wasting your spending money on advertising that doesn't work, has low rate on investment, rate on return. And the biggest thing is that you can't track it. If you're spending money on advertising and you don't know where the people are seeing the ad, if they're seeing the ad, where it's coming from, then you're wasting your money. Plain and simple. You're just wasting it. You're dumping money down the toilet. Because if you don't have a way of tracking everything that you do advertising, that you've spent money on in advertising, and marketing in general, if you can't track it, if you can't prove the results, if someone walks in your door, this is a huge secret to shut these people down that walk into your door selling all kinds of advertising. You know what I'm talking about. If you got a brick and mortar store, you get it every day. If you've got a business phone, you get calls all of the time from people trying to sell you everything. And when it comes to advertising, this is the one sentence. And this is the big question that will stop them in their tracks. Ask them this. And this is the only type of marketing that you want to use. It gets the maximum return for the least amount of expense for the longest duration of time, is trackable on everything you are currently doing now, have done in the past, or will do in the future. And this is the question that shuts them down. Is your advertising trackable? If they can't give you an answer, if they dance around and, well, you can't, guarantee. Yes, you can guarantee results. Chances are you need to walk away from that advertising. Now, there's a difference, and I'm going to get to that in one of the steps. There's a difference in advertising where you're doing it for benevolent reasons. The high school yearbook, the program, for the theater, things like that. You might want to consider putting it in, but that's not advertising. That's just giving money to a group, an organization that's doing something worthy and beneficial, and you get your name mentioned. People don't read that stuff for the most part, and you certainly can't track it. So it's not effective advertising. Now you can profitably grow your business 25 to 100% or more by using these simple steps. These are the steps, the pillars that you need. You need to have a database. I'm going to talk about that and explain what that is. You need to have alliances. You need to use social media. It's the 21st century, people. If you're not using social media and using it correctly, then you're missing the boat. Community relations, that's what I just talked about with advertising in a program or a sign at the ballpark, something like that. That's a benevolent thing that's benefiting someone. I suggest that if you're going to do that, you pick groups that you like and support them, and not just hand money out to everybody that walks in the door, which is ironic because back in the 1970s, that's what I did, was telemarketing for fundraising, where we called anybody and everybody and asked them for money for organizations. At that time, it was a very effective way of operating. Not so much these days. You need to have direct, trackable marketing, not just stuff that you're throwing out there and don't know whether it's getting results or not. And you need to develop a referral system. There's lots of ways of doing that. Why aren't we already doing a lot of these things? Why aren't we maximizing our past customers and clients? What kind of expertise do you have? What kind of expertise does your staff, your employees have? These are all things that you need to maximize. What about your unique selling proposition? I touched on that just a moment ago in regards to what makes you unique and different and what sets you aside. So you need to have a unique selling proposition. You need to have a unique product or delivery of that product, or at least seemingly so. It needs to have something different that not everybody else has or not everybody else is doing it. It could be price, it could be packaging, it could be service. There's lots of different ways. You need to look at your sales performance. How effective are your sales? Is your message reaching people and interesting them enough to want to buy your products? You need to develop relationships with other businesses and, dare I say, your competitors. You need to become friends with your competitors. And location is important. Location can be important. I mean, a business that's located not maybe in a very good area is going to have a tougher time of operating than a business in an affluent area. If you're a brick and mortar business, then, issues like parking, things like that come into it. So location is a factor. Your reputation. Going back to customer service, what type of reputation is your business developing? And what are you currently doing? You need to maximize what you're currently doing that's working as far as the marketing process goes. Who are your current customers and clients? Do you know who's coming in? Do you know who's buying from you? Prospective customers and jobs, you should constantly be looking for leads, new people to come in. You can't sustain a business on having just the same group of business or same group of people coming into your business and supporting your business. It needs to grow because you have, for one reason or another, you have people drop off. They move away. They die. They just lose interest. They don't have a need for your product anymore. If you're selling to other business people, they go out of business. And you need to upsell. You need to, I have to say, McDonald's is a master. Their customer service is horrible these days, but they are a master at the upsell and have been for a long time. When I worked in retail, I worked for a jewelry division of a department store. And one of the upsells that we had was watch battery replacement. For $1, you could get a lifetime watch replacement warranty on your watch. It was only $1. Of course, this goes back a long ways. $1 was worth a little bit more. And actually, the majority of that dollar went back out into commissions for the upsell itself because they were using it to retain customers and to get people to come back in. But nonetheless, it was an upsell. Battery cost a few cents. Took a couple of minutes to put it in. You need to know what your average customer value is. How much does the average person spend with you? That gives you an idea of what you can invest in getting more people to come in. And then your community relations. Remember I mentioned about, supporting the high school, the groups that you like, benevolent groups. There's lots of them out there. There's plenty to choose from. I'm sure you probably already have a passion for one or more of them. And you need to use your business as a way of reaching these people. So why don't we do all of these things? Why aren't we already doing them? You may have heard of a lot of these already and saying, I already know that, but are you doing it? Well, the reason you're not doing it is because you're usually confused. You don't know where to start. You don't know how to get it going. You're not quite sure what to do. You don't know what works. You don't have the time. You're too busy working in your business to work on your business. Maybe you think it costs too much. Not real logical to think that spending money on marketing and advertising, effective advertising, is going to cost too much because you're going to get a return on it. Well, here's the foundation of the hidden marketing asset system. There's 3 ways to grow your business. You can get more prospects coming in. You can increase the conversion rate of the prospects and customers that you already have. And you can increase the value of the customer that you already have. That's why you needed to know all of these things, what your customer value is and all of that. You can increase the average transaction value, for instance, and that will increase your revenues and your income. You can increase the number of transactions per client customer, and that will increase your bottom line. So here's how to do it. It's real simple. Well, it's not simple, but the system is simple. What you have to do is simple. Implementing it, you have to implement it. You have to actually do it. You got to do some work. It's not going to happen without you putting some effort into it. Here's how the pillars of success work. You have to have an effective USP. That's a unique selling proposition. What makes you different from everybody else? You have to have exponential marketing. That means that your marketing grows out from what you already have. You have to develop relationships and have relationship marketing. You have to optimize your customer base. You have to have a strategic alliance of people to work with your marketing. That's other businesses, other people, customers, past, present, future customers. They can all be alliances and get you more business. You need to have effective, good custom advertising, the web, internet, social marketing. Those are all important things now. But there's a way to waste time and money with all of that, and there's a time to make it effective, or a way to make it effective. You need to optimize the media. That's the media in general. That's newspapers, what's left of them, magazines, television, radio, print, online. Everything's media. If it gets your name out there, it's media. You need to develop community relations marketing. Be seen in the community as a community leader. You do that by getting involved in groups. And you need to do one-to-one direct marketing. Now what that used to be called like mail order. It's not really mail order anymore. It's a lot more than that now. Direct marketing is mailing. I said mail order, I meant mailing. But you need to have one-on-one contact with your customer base, your potential customer base. But it needs to be effective and it needs to be trackable, as I said. In order for any business to work, it must become a system. And this comes from Michael Gerber, who is he wrote the E-Myth. I guess it's kind of a dated book now, but it's a good foundation. You have to have a system for your business, and unlike a lot of businesses now that started out with a very good system have gotten away from it, and they're having problems now. But you have to have a good system so that the business works exactly the same way every time, down to the very last detail of that business. It's very important. It's what systems are for. It's what steps are for. You do this, this happens. You do that, that happens. On and on. You have to be open-minded about all of this. This, as I said, you may have heard some of this stuff, but are you really absorbing it? Are you really taking it in and applying it to your business? I'm just kind of having a little chat with you here. I'm giving you the overview of all of this. Each one is certainly worthy of its own teaching. You need to have a mind shift. You need to go from whatever you're doing now, or whatever you're selling now, whatever you're providing now, to being a marketer. You need to think like a marketer. You're not whatever it is that you do. You're not a yoga instructor. You're not a metaphysician. You're not a psychic. You're not a hypnotist. You're not a chiropractor. You're a marketer who sells yoga instructions, hypnosis instructions, chiropractics, or any other type of business. Now you might be saying, Doc Rick, my business is different. My customers are different. You don't understand. My demographics are different. I'm going to tell you a little secret. It's actually a huge secret. And that is marketing is marketing is marketing. It doesn't matter now. My area that I specialize in is the holistic area. I like working with holistic people. I like practicing holistics myself. I like to apply holistics to my businesses. But the bottom line is the things that I'm teaching you here, the foundations that I'm teaching you here will work for any business of any kind. So marketing is marketing is marketing. It doesn't matter what type of business you own or what you're doing or what you run. Now, how can you use what I've taught you today? Well, first of all, you need to stay focused. The system works if you work the system. You need to have a plan, step by step. I gave you the pillars. Hopefully you wrote them down. You need to have a system in place that works the same way every time, regardless. And you need to have accountability. So those are the things that you need to make the system actually work. The hidden marketing asset system. It's called a system because that's what it is. And this was just, as I said, an overview of it. Now you can go to my marketing blog, which is hiddenassetsmarketing.com. I've got some articles there on how you can get started and all of that. But at this point in the training, you're thinking probably one of two things at this point. Either you didn't get anything out of this training, or you had a breakthrough. An aha moment, light bulb went off. Now, if you didn't get anything out of the teaching that we did here, a little over 45 minutes worth, and it's okay to leave. That's the end of this week's training. Think about what we learned here today and take what you want of it. Give a minute here for anybody that wants to drop off. Get a little bit of a drink here because I want to talk to the people that are still here. Because you're the serious folks. If you're still here, you're still watching. And I've got something for you. Let me ask you this. What if I just told you that what I just taught is only 1% of the tip of the iceberg? It is. Let me ask you this. What if I told you that what I taught is only 1% of the tip of the iceberg? Would you want to know more? Let me ask you this. If what I taught you is the tip of the iceberg, only 1%, I'm guessing that your answer is yes. So here's the thing. Over the course of the last 6 months, there's been an incredible need that has come up. It's a need for the other 99% of the information that I didn't give. What I didn't just go over. Now, others just aren't talking about this. That's a good thing. It's hard to find online. So this is what I'm offering. I've decided to hold a 12-week coaching program. It's going to be held over 10 months, 12 weeks of coaching, weekly coaching. Then we'll move into a mastermind, full mastermind access for 10 months. You'll be a part of this. The mastermind access will be probably once a week, maybe twice a month, whenever we need, maybe 3 times a week, who knows. It's a mastermind. Whenever there's a need, we'll do it. But at least monthly, bi-monthly content. And the first thing I'm going to teach you in the 12 weeks is the 7 core steps that we just went over with the hidden marketing asset system. I'm going to go into detail. There's going to be homework. There's going to be working with you to develop and put all of this into place so that within 60 to 90 days, you're going to start seeing that 25 to 100% increase in your business by just applying the things that you will learn in the coaching program. It's all going to be step by step. It's a system. It's all laid out. But then I'm going to get into the real meat of things, where the real money is in growing your business. I'm going to teach you how to do coaching and training online. Now, this was the breakthrough for me over the last 6 months. I've been teaching for a long time. But here's some interesting information, I guess you would say. This is from the International Coach Federation, respected organization, and they say this. They do routine studies of coaching and marketing, and they've done landmark studies taking place as far back as 2007 and most recently in 2012. And they found that there's a study that the average income for full-time coaches was over $83,000. And for just part-time, $26,000 a year. Now this was consistent with the Sherpa study that gave estimates between $55,000 and $116,000 for coaches. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've done this before, and this is how I used to do it back in the 20th century. It was a lot harder back then. I used to run ads in newspapers. I used to rent a hotel meeting room, banquet room. I used to have to schlep myself to the town that I was doing this in. The people that came to it had to schlep themselves to the meetings. We'd all get together once a week, and I would teach them various things, mostly hypnosis related. My background is hypnosis, and I would teach them how to become hypnotists primarily. This is why I'm directing this at holistic practitioners, because you are in an ideal position for this program. Better than ideal. A lot of businesses could use this. A lot of businesses can do it. But if you're a holistic practitioner, a metaphysician, a healer, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Back in the 20th century when I did this, it was expensive to do. Took a lot of time, was inconvenient. You had to deal with the weather. There really wasn't a whole lot about it other than the fact that at the time, yes, it had good income most of the time. Not always. Lost my hind end on a few of them, but that's okay. It was a learning experience. But this is how, in the 21st century, we can do the same thing. And I'm going to teach it to you right now. This is what I'm going to teach you. This is key. Write this down. How to work smarter, not harder. How to work smarter, not harder. See, with modern and advancing technology, I found that you can do the same thing I used to do. But now, and my clients have found, they can get all the benefits right from the comfort of their own home or office. And guess what? The results are far more effective today because you can reach out to people in places you would have never been able to go before. Truly, the universe is open to the potential. Now, let me ask you a question. Did you just have a breakthrough moment? If you did, write on your pad there, breakthrough. Breakthrough moment. Put a bunch of exclamation points behind it. Let me give you a startling fact if you didn't know. You probably didn't. Self-help improvement industry is growing daily. And by last, and these are dated results and accounting, it's a 9.9 billion, that's with a B, billion-dollar industry. And it's growing. In fact, it's growing rapidly. The $10 billion self-improvement, this is from market research. These are big boys. They don't fool around. They get the real deal information. You can check out their blog there. This is where this is from. $10 billion self-improvement market adjusts to a new generation. Now listen to this. This is why it's growing. John LaRosa said to maintain long-term viability in the personal growth market and to maintain long-term viability in the personal growth market, also known as the self-improvement market, industry's future generations of gurus, speakers, and experts will need to be accountable to consumers, good customer service, and the general motivation programs are less popular today. And that many consumers looking for more practical programs and a return on their investment and time have found that the programs and philosophies such as the law of attraction have overpromised and underdelivered. And you can overcome all of that because you can teach things online in coaching, with coaching, that are specific to your particular customers, your particular clients. Whatever your expertise is, I guarantee you, you know something that is teachable. Now, the self-improvement industry is now estimated to be worth $11 billion in the United States alone. We're not even talking globally. We're just talking about the United States. This industry includes a variety of market segments. Now listen to this, from holistic institutes to infomercials to books to audio books, motivational speakers, websites, seminars, which is what this is, personal coaching, online education, weight loss, stress management programs. This market is growing, folks. And it's expected to see an average of 5.5 gains each year for who knows how long. Now, live training seminars, webinars, they're a $400 to $500 million business. But they have seen a slow decline in the live seminars is what they're talking about. The online stuff is just exploding. Due to recent travel, cost, that type of thing, people don't want to go out. If they can take the same training at home or in their office. Webinars, now this, look, it says right here, webinars are now becoming more popular. They're lower cost, and they have the availability of any time, any day. So here's what I'll teach you. Everything you need to know to become a life coach using the skills you already have. If you're a holistic practitioner, and that, I'm giving that as a broad spectrum, I can teach you how to do this. Now, before I share with you what's in this brand new product, let's talk a little bit about the value of working with me here. The thing is, when you get in this place, it's going to make a difference in your life. It's going to make a difference to your family. It's going to make a definite difference to your client's life. I've put together an incredible 10-month training. I call it my Hidden Marketing Assets Training System. We already talked about that. That's what the training was about today. And these are the kinds of lessons you're going to receive from me to get up to speed and on the fast track to success. You'll get 12 intense weeks of all you need to get up to and running, and then follow-up mastermind each month as needed, along with as needed extras, forms, software, but whatever we come across or need that is beneficial. And all of your questions will be answered. We'll have specific question and answer calls. You'll get additional material, reports, as I said. Here's just some of what we will cover over the initial first 12 weeks. First of all, you're going to get the core 7-step hidden marketing asset system, complete system. Then we'll show you how to develop all of the marketing opportunities that are already in your business and maximize the potential. Then we will go on to putting together and doing and working with our own coaching group all online. Now, you may, after you see the potential of this, you may decide that you don't want to have an offline business anymore. You want to close your office or your brick and mortar business if you have one. You may just want to do this. But if not, then you need to develop it, maximize it, as well as doing this. Remember earlier when I said working smarter, not harder? This is all about working smarter, not harder. Now, to get the core teaching of the hidden marketing asset, then we're going to quickly move on to where you'll get the complete life coaching webinar teaching business. I will show you step by step exactly everything that you need, and then some. As I learn, I'm going to pass it on to you. Now, some of what you'll be getting is that we'll talk about value-added system, the coaching model, the entrepreneurial business coaching, which is huge, helping other business people, career coaching. People are running around with their umbilical cord in their hand looking for some place to plug it in. It's not an original thought of mine, but it's a great thought because it's very true. People who are creative. You'll learn a goal realization system. We need goals. Your clients need goals. Developing relationships with your clients to get them to stick with you and to come back and to stay. Your communication skills. You say, oh, I don't know, I've never done this before. I don't know if I can do this or not. Sure you can. We're going to teach you how to do that. It's all done online. You can hide behind your computer screen like here. You don't have to have a video up in the corner like I have here. What is it? Someone said I have a face for radio. Anyway, so your communication skills we're going to work with. I'm going to teach you how to ask powerful questions, how to build rapport with the people, the core 4 of the coaching model that you need, the virgin consultation. We wrote that. I was just being funny. That's your first. That's your doing this for the very first time. Getting out and getting in front of people. What your best approach is. What you do that is going to be the best thing to start off teaching. You're going to have setbacks. Everybody does. How do you overcome them? And these are all things that you also are going to teach your clients that are in your coaching programs. This is a huge one, hand holding. I'm going to teach you how to overcome the problem that you have with the client that just, they can't function without holding your hand with everything. I'm going to teach you how to overcome that, how to get around it without dumping them, keeping them as a client. And then the importance of homework assignments, because you'll have homework assignments too. And there's just way too much more there than you know, I'm already running way over. It's supposed to be an hour and I'm already over. So this is the way we're going to work together. We're going to get together once a week for 12 weeks online. You don't have to go anywhere. Sit here on laptop. I got backup laptop over here. You can be on the laptop, your desktop, your notepad. We use a program called Zoom. That's what I'm using now anyway. That's real easy to operate, real easy to learn. The learning curve is small. So you'll get the 12 weeks of training, full mastermind access for the additional 10 months. We'll work together personally to get the results that you want. Now, the way we're going to do this, as I said, is with Zoom. You're going to get the core hidden marketing asset system. Now, the 12 weeks, whoops, made a mistake there. It should be $2,000, not $12,000. Although it's probably more than worth $12,000. There we go. Core hidden marketing asset system, 12 weeks is $2,000. And if you want to go and sign up for that now, you can go to drrickcoaching.com. There's a letter there that explains everything, goes into a little bit more detail than what I've done here. And at the bottom, you can sign up. But wait, you know, you've stuck with me this long. You really seem interested in this or you wouldn't be here. So I'm going to drop the price instead of $2,000. Let's drop it down to just $1,000. Is that better? Would that work for you better? You're more comfortable with that? Maybe you're not ready. You don't know me that well. Maybe you're not ready to trust me with $2,000 of your money. $1,000, if you want to break that up over 10 monthly payments, it would be $97 a month. You can go now, drrickcoaching.com, sign up now. $97 a month could change your life, could change your family's lives, could change the lives of your clients, your customers. Now, I know I've given you a lot here. Go to rickallencoaching.com. Take a look at the sales letter that's on there. And let me throw in some bonuses here. Let me kind of prompt you to go sign up now, because these bonuses won't stay there. These are being offered to you on this webinar right now. Here's the bonus trainings. I'm going to give you my hidden marketing asset library. There's an entire library of marketing books that normally do not come with the hidden marketing asset system. In fact, they normally sell for $1,000 for the set. They're well worth it. They've got tons of information. They've got transcripts of consultations with other businesses and other clients. It's a wealth of information, well worth $1,000. I'm going to give it to you if you sign up now. Rick Allen Coaching, or Dr. Rick Coaching, .com. Get my web addresses mixed up here. I'm going to give you some extra training sessions, probably worth far more than $500, but let's say $500. So you'll get extra training along the way. You're going to get additional PDFs as they become available, files as they become available, ebooks as they become available. This is after the initial material. And I'm trying to make it as easy as I can for you. 10 monthly payments, $97 a month. drrickcoaching.com. Go register now. That's it. Hope to have you sign up. Hope to be working with you. And if you have signed up, we'll talk to you soon. Dr. Rick out. Talk to you later. Thanks a lot.